welcome to my video demonstrating the installation of VirtualBox as well as the importing of a VM to use for the Python class. So let's get started. So the first thing I need to do is I need to go to virtualbox.org. So I'm just going to type in VirtualBox until I find it in my search window, and that will take me to a link that brings me to virtualbox.org. From there I can go ahead and click the download link, and then I can come down here and select the download for my machine, which is a Windows machine. Once that download gets started, I'll go ahead and pause. Okay, so my download has completed, so I'm going to go ahead here and click on my downloads, and I will go ahead and open that file, and I'll walk you through the installation of VirtualBox. Now you're going to lose my screen a couple of times as I get some warnings or options or confirmation dialogues to go on, but now I've got the setup wizard, so I'll go ahead and click next. I will accept the terms of the license agreement, and I will go ahead and install it in its default location. And it's giving me a warning about these network interfaces, saying it's going to reset my network connection, and that's fine for right now. And the last thing it's going to do is give me this warning about missing dependencies, and that's fine also. So I'll go ahead and click yes, and I will click next, and at one point it's going to make my screen flicker a few times and I'll lose control of the mouse. So once I get this install started, I'm going to pause the recording until it completes. And here's the install, and I'm going to lose my recording any minute. Okay, so I did get Oracle VirtualBox installed. During the process of installing it, my screens did flicker about 3 times. I lost control of my mouse a few times. So I just sat there patiently and let it finish, and now I'm down here to the finish box. And when I do that, I'm going to go ahead and start VirtualBox after the installation. Okay, so I've got VirtualBox installed and running. The next thing I need to do is import that OVA file that I've already downloaded from the Google Drive account that's available in the course. So I'm going to go to File and then Import Appliance, and then I'll click this folder icon to select the file, and I need to go to my Downloads folder, and from here I'll select the OVA file and I'll open it. And I'll pause the recording for a minute after this because it's going to take a couple of minutes to import this file. Alright, so the OVA file did indeed import. The next step I'm going to do is I'm just going to go ahead and start the VM, and we'll pause the recording again while the VM gets started and loads into memory, I guess. Okay, so I've got my VM started, so the next step I can do is, well, let's do the first thing. Let me just check and make sure I'm connected to the internet, because when you're using the VM, you're going to need to be able to access websites, and it does indeed look like I loaded a web page. I always like to go and check another web page just to make sure that I'm really connected and I'm not loading a cached page from memory. And I did indeed connect to the internet. So now I'm going to start VS Code. And I've got VS Code started, and there's a couple of things that I don't like about the display. I don't want this Explorer window, so I can just click and drag that all the way to the left to get rid of it. And now on this welcome screen, I can click this to open a file, or I could, if I want to close that screen, I can go File, Open File, and I'm at my desktop Python folder, and I'll go ahead and open that file device login. And here it is. So now the last thing I want to do is I want to just test and make sure this works. And please do remember to change the IP address here. I think the one on the VM is just XXXX. You won't be able to see it. And then I can go to my Run menu. I will run this without debugging, and I will select the Python debugger. And when I run that, it opens up a terminal on the bottom half of my screen, and in a couple of seconds, and there it is, I see the prompt for the device. I successfully logged into a device and retrieved the prompt. Now, a couple other things, if I don't like the way this virtual machine is running, let me just close this, and let's take a look at my desktop. If I don't like the size of my desktop within the virtual machine, I can right-click, go to the display settings, and I can make my desktop appear larger or smaller. My desktop that this is residing on, my physical desktop, is actually a 16:9 ratio. So I'm going to go up here and select this 1360 by 768, and when I apply that, you'll see that my screen size changes, and that's not really as good as I want. Let me see if I can make that a little bit bigger. So I'll go back to my display settings and I'll go up a little bit, and 1600 by 900 I know is too big. Well, we'll take a look at that. I'll apply that, and actually that is good. So I will keep those settings. That makes my screen a little bit larger so I can navigate and see what I'm doing without taking completely over. And another thing I can do, if I go to my view menu, I can enter full screen mode, and I'll just go ahead and click switch. And if you notice down here at the bottom of my screen, I have a little menu that I can bring up when I bring my mouse all the way down. And right next to the X is an icon where I can exit full screen mode. So anyway, I hope this has been helpful for you, and thanks for watching.